but we're almost ready for kick-off now, so we'll start with some team news. And the team news for Mac is that there's 5 changes from the side that were so impressive last week in that away win against Guiseley. So 5 changes today. Into the side come Dawson, Etaluku, Di Girolamo, who scored last week, remember, Danny Elliott and Dante Gabidon. Out drop Rooney, Damani Mella, Neil Kengney, Luke Duffy and Laurent Mendy, all those players down to the bench. So Mac line up today as follows. So
it'll be Max Durnley in goal, the defence of Trey Pemberton, Brandon Lee, Lewis Fensom and Rollin Menayeze, which is unchanged from last weekend. A midfield of Paul Dawson, Danny Whitehead, and then several attackers, Sean Etaluku, Diego Di Girolamo, Danny Elliott and Dante Gabidon.
Now Mac into the penalty area on the right hand side with Pemberton, dancing feet away from his man. Danny Whitehead makes the run ahead of him. Instead it goes to Etaluku. Another chance to try and take on Charles, decides not to though. Good numbers back for Ilkeston, but Mac still in possession as Fensom looks for a ball over the top. Etaluku sets off late but will still get there with his pace. Chance to square it to Di Girolamo. Instead it goes to Dawson. On the effort, it's a weak one in the end and easily gathered by Yates.
Yeah, pity that. Dawson coming in with the late run. Just didn't quite catch it right, did he? I wonder whether, I think the square ball from Etaluku, he was looking originally to pick out to Girolamo, wasn't he? But just misplaced it ever so slightly. Short corner option. It's played to Etaluku. Now Gabidon edge of the penalty area. Lays it off to Dawson, the captain. Walker presses though, and it's found its way now to Fensom in a crossing position. Against Marshall, Fensom turns back outside and then delivers a good ball. Menayeze saved by the goalkeeper. The two centre-backs almost combining for a goal there from the corner, but Menayese's header was at the goalkeeper. He's come forwards a long way from central defence. He's got an opportunity to load the penalty area with a diagonal ball if he wanted to, but no, plays it to Pemberton. Now a floated ball in the direction of Etaluku, and Etaluku chases down a clearance and it almost goes in. Ilkeston player tried to clear the ball, deflects off Etaluku towards the goal line, and Yates just about backpedals and keeps it out. Jaden Charles, a left back, signed last month from Rushall Olympic in the league above. He's the one stood over this free kick and it's an in-swinging crossing position. Here it comes, he's actually gone for goal, shoveled away by Durnley, picked up in the penalty area by Dixon, forced out of the box, back to the taker Charles. Whether that's blame apportioned to Kengley for not reading the runs of the teammates or whether more people should have got into the box, I suppose you could argue either way.
Just to answer my own point from before, it is Paul Dawson that's dropped in alongside Menayeze at centre half. Danny Mella not had much of the ball since he came on. He's making plenty of runs. At the moment, he's still not got it because it's Luke Duffy showing good feet to get away down the left-hand side, and he rolls one into Lee. Lee will get there, tries to stand one up towards Kengney. Good header though by Charles. Only as far as Rooney with a volley! Great connection. In the end, it was 4 or 5 yards wide.
Worth a go, wasn't it? Certainly got a lot of power on it. Against Luke Duffy, comes inside towards the edge of the penalty area, now to Essien, edge of the box. Now Brady is dispossessed by Mendy and Kengney, and Mendy coming away over halfway. Kengney bursting away ahead of him. Feeds it to Kengney now. Kengney into the penalty area. Sits down the defender. Kengney shoots, saved at the near post. And it's going to roll out for a corner. Lightning fast counter-attack that one though. Neil Kengney got 2 goals last week. And forced a good save there. Still goalless. 74th minute of the game now, so 20 minutes remaining on this one, including injury time. Here's Luke Duffy approaching the penalty area. Lovely turn by Duffy. Duffy into the box. Duffy bends one towards goal, but wide. From a tight angle. He did the hard bit, didn't he? And the finish still wasn't easy. But in the end, he puts it a little bit wide. Can we find a winning goal here? Ilkeston still defending manfully, but they've allowed the ball to fall to Luke Duffy here, edge of the box. Now John Rooney in the box, lines up a shot, curls it, and it's in! May have taken a little touch of a defender, but it's enough to just put it past the outreaching grip of Yates in the goal. And John Rooney, he scored a hat-trick in this fixture last season, and he scored what might be the winner in this one. We've not long left on the clock, only 15 minutes, and that puts us on to our 100th goal.
Well, there you go, what a man to get it as well. John Rooney taking himself off the bench after 54 minutes. It was well found by Duffy, but it was beautifully conceived by John Rooney there. Test Daniel's legs after 80 hard minutes.
Definitely, it's going to leave them exposed in other areas, isn't it? This positive front line that Ilkeston have got. Ilkeston with a turn in midfield and puts the ball out wide to Trey Pemberton, who takes it down in the right winger position. He's joined by Lauren Mendy. Mendy can shape a cross, in it comes, looking for Elliott, just misses it, comes to Duffy, back post. He lifts one to Mayer, 2-0. Well worked goal that by the Silkmen. And that should be that in this game, just as Ilkeston gambled, bringing on their forwards. They're punished at the other end by Mac. And it was a nice floated ball, wasn't it, by Luke Duffy, and then Damani Mellor just ghosting in at the back post. Makes no mistake, unmissable chance, and that's 2-0. Corner taken short. Pemberton back to Rooney. Rooney on the edge of the box in a crossing position. Here's Elliott, and that's the third. Danny Elliott gets his goal. Chances have been a bit at a premium for him, but he wasn't going to miss that one. It was a lovely delivery by John Rooney from the short corner. And there, getting what is his 38th goal in all competitions, 32nd in the league, is our number 10, Danny Elliott. Using that frightening pace that he's got. Luke Duffy, edge of the box, gets around a couple of challenges. Elliott in the area. Elliott is another one. 33 league goals for Danny Elliott now. And just as we tick on to 95 minutes, that's a fourth goal for Mac. They've finished in some style this afternoon. And that was a lovely clinical finish into the far corner from Danny Elliott.
It was, wasn't it? Just knew exactly what space he had there as he took the slightly heavy touch on purpose, just to open up the angle. Finished low and hard across the keeper again. Nothing Yates could do. Just clinical play from Mac again. That will be probably the final kick of the game, apart from kickoff. And just to have that mentality to keep going, Danny Elliott just loves scoring goals.
Absolutely, and in a game where he'd been starved of service, really, not had it entirely his own way, but worked very, very hard and been kept on for the full 90. He's done incredibly well to help himself to 2 goals here in this game. That shows what a quality of striker we've got on our hands here. And that was the final action of the game. Ilkeston barely have a chance to kick off again. It didn't look like they were going to get such a blowout win as what they've done, but they end up winning 4-0.